Svelte styling, creamy engines and lashings of luxury. These are the best cheapskate alternatives to the Maserati Ghibli that Tiff drove in Italy. But instead of costing 50 grand, these start at just 1,500.
My cheapest choice offers Italian glamour for a bargain basement price. The Alfa Romeo 166.
This was Alfa's rival to the BMW 5 Series, and it was always considered a bit of a left-field exotic choice. Less than 100,000 were produced, and at the time, that was considered a bit of a sales flop. Whereas now, I think its rarity might just make it a wise choice.
It's an Alfa that's unlikely to let you down, but there are a few things to look for.
First, lights. If the car's been fitted with xenon headlights, check the colour of the beam is a crisp white and not a yellowy purple tinge like this, because that is the first sign that the units are on their way out. Replacements, 500 quid.
Check the cam belt has been changed every 60,000 miles. It's a 450 quid job, and if it's overlooked, the results can be catastrophic engine failure.
Finally, the rear suspension is quite easy to knock out of alignment through careless parking or whacking potholes. Telltale sign is unusually worn rear tyres. If they are worn, budget 150 quid to get the suspension put right and 200 quid for new boots.
The Alfa offers incredible style for the cash, but an extra £4,500 ups the ante. The Citroen C6 from just 6 grand.
The C6 was the car of choice for former French President Jacques Chirac, and it does have this graceful presidential air to it. And thanks to its electronically controlled hydroactive suspension, the ride is incredibly smooth. Although, if you're looking for some Maserati-style sportiness, then you best look the other way.
The C6 offers presidential luxury at a bargain price, but make sure you do your homework.
The engine to go for is this V6 turbo diesel, but it does have a known weak spot. Way up there is a steel water pipe which is prone to rust. When it goes, replacing it means taking basically the whole front end off the subframe. That's expensive, 450 quid.
The C6 has a real hunger for tyres, which sometimes last just 8,000 miles. Replacing them will cost you 200 quid each.
And finally, the rear spoiler motors can fail, but fear not, there's a devious trick to test them. Turn the ignition on, put the wipers to maximum, turn the ignition off. If the spoiler doesn't pop up, it's going to cost you 250 quid.
My final choice is a car that still looks brand new, the Jaguar XF, from as little as 10 grand.
When the XF came out, it revolutionised Jaguar. Back then, they had a slightly fusty reputation, which conjured up images of walnut burr dashboards rather than high-tech engineering. The XF, though, was a modern, rear-wheel drive saloon and a serious rival to BMW's 5 Series.
The Jag has a good reputation for reliability, but there are some things to check before you buy.
Make sure the automatic gearbox is decisive when it changes gear. If it hunts around or changes at odd times, you could be looking at big trouble. New gearbox, 3 grand.
The rear brakes wear quickly, so check for scored or grooved discs. A pair of pads and discs will cost you 230 quid.
And finally, whilst these rising air vents and gear selector knob are considered reliable, there's a whole host of other electronic bits in here which can go wrong. So check the sat-nav, check the stereo, check the aircon, check it all.
So, if the Maserati Ghibli is out of your reach, then get one of these brilliant Svelte saloons instead.